I feel like Monster Jam is just headed down the wrong path in a lot of ways, and I feel like last year was such an awesome year for the sport, and then this year they made tracks that were way worse. I just feel like Monster Jam doesn't care enough about what the fans think anymore.
I don't even think I really need to say anything to explain why it's stupid. It's just obvious. Like, come on.
Guys, come on. How hard was it to just make it a 2-day event? This schedule is so awful. Not a single person thinks that this is a good idea.
And I'm gonna pause for a moment so you guys can read these comments.
To have basically 2 stadium events basically on each day, it's like people have been complaining about the last few years of Monster Jam World Finals not feeling like a special event. This is making it worse.
I cannot fathom in what world we need 4 Sparkle Smashes running Monster Jam, all of which will look the same across all the tours, and there is going to be no distinction between them, and it's really annoying, and I'm so sick of it. Please, for the love of God, Feld, stop. It was honestly bad enough when we had 6 Megalodons running. We still have 6 Megalodons running, and now we have 4 Sparkle Smashes on top of that. Jeez.
Monster Jam should be including everyone, but it just seems to me that when you get to a certain age, Monster Jam just doesn't care anymore.
The new rules come from Skills and Freestyle. First, so far as of the time of this recording from November of 2025, this is taking place so far just in stadiums. The Skills competition that was once a 2-hit competition with not a lot of restrictions and not really flawed, got a new overhaul for 2025. Now, it's just a 1-hit competition, and this started during the Sparkle Smash Bash Fall Series. This gives fans less to see during the event, and if a driver screws up, well, most of the time it's just tough shit. Then, in both stadiums and arenas, the skills competition also added a rule being now time-related, as if you go over a certain amount of time during your run, well, then your points are going to be deducted. This sucks because now the drivers are going to be worried about this, so they're probably going to play it safe and just do a nose wheelie instead of, well, competing. Then for freestyle, another time rule got added, this one being this year at Tampa. This being that if you go over the clock, you get points deducted. And this was heavily criticized by fans and fellow drivers for taking away from the fans, kind of like the skills competition, but this was the first major blow with time restrictions. And most notably, Ryan Anderson, the driver of Son of a Digger, also did a jab at it during the Gears and Nachos podcast, which is a really good podcast, and you should check it out.
But then also, in Tampa, a new rule has came in that if you go past your time, you get deducted points.
Yeah.
Really? You get actual point deduction, like your actual points for the season. If you go after the red, you get an actual penalty on your entire points.
But the expert's not judging off of that.
No, so you have to hit exactly to the T.
God, just think about how pissed off someone had to be in the office when that take a point away from him. He's going past the red.
That was Todd. Where did Todd? Was that Miami?
I think it was Todd and Nick both. Nick's was pretty aggressive as looking at it from the office standpoint, which I don't agree with, of like so worried about the time and acting like the time is the only thing that matters, where really the only thing that mattered was the people that paid money, their hard-earned money to go to a show and watch a show, seeing something that was badass. Hands down, in the discussion.
Wow.
But the people in the office were like, oh, no, damn. If you can't tell, I fucking hate that really bad. But yeah, so now they're going to penalize us for it.
Yeah.
So you got to do 100% of your time, but 100.5% deduction.
Arenas has also been feeling faster than usual because of the fact that there's only 3 competitions now. At one point, they were either doing donuts or Sky Wheelie competitions. Both were fun in their own way, and the Sky Wheelie competitions, those I was having a lot of fun with, especially in person. But now, both are gone from Monster Jam, and Monster Jam afterwards decided on the best idea possible. And that idea was nothing. Yeah, they decided to replace that with absolutely nothing. And now you just have racing, skills, and freestyle, and then just freestyle motocross. This again gives fans less. And the worst part is some of the shows clock in less than 2 hours, which is horrible considering that this was never a problem before until this year when they got rid of the extra competition. Combine that with the prices at the shows, it's really not worth it. And it doesn't help that we have Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live, Monster Jam's biggest competitor, who is a kiddie tour, who has 4, sometimes even 5 competitions per show. Yeah, very embarrassing on that one. This has been a big problem of mine over the last 3 years or so. That is the kid stuff is becoming too much to ignore. Now, with any sport or motorsport, you'll find kids and families at shows or have like toys or whatnot. And this isn't a problem. It's actually a good thing. It shows that you have the next generation of fans coming along. And if they become lifelong fans, that's good. And it could also result in them becoming part of the sport in some capacity, which is a huge plus, showcasing that you have the next generation right in line. Monster Jam was like this since the beginning, with the kids and families being part of it, but they also had the adult fans of the trucks and drivers. Fans who watched Dennis Anderson and Tom Meents were young and old, and they watched for a long time. And for the older fans, they even brought their kids to meet them. For instance, I remember going to Lebanon Valley to meet Dennis Anderson at the event, which was very fantastic. But the other thing I noticed was that every age was on the line, from kids to adults to even old folk who watched Dennis since the beginning. It was a really, really cool experience, and long story short, Monster Jam is literally for everyone. They had the toys for the kids, and the sponsorship and DVD documentaries were for the adults, like the True Life of Tom Meents and Medusa, the Gravedigger 25th Anniversary DVD with Dennis Anderson, and the Road to the World Finals, just to name a few. These made the sport feel really impactful and important as well. And the toys, of course, were a great way to get the kids started with Monster Jam for a long time to come. But the show was for everyone, geared to give you goosebumps, and had that full motorsport atmosphere. Now, as of 2025, all that has changed. Gone are the days of listening to a driver after a crash to pass some time while they're cleaning up. Now, Feld decided to now market exclusively to families with children. Now having many mini games on screen after any time they stop, they're also toning down intros, making it feel a little bit lighter, and heavily building shows and stunts off of toys with Spin Master. Now, look, the toy thing is alright, but you don't have to add it to every single piece of the show. And the YouTube page, well, they also have Spin Master toy stuff on there, and even some of the other videos that they have are head scratchers. Here's a major example I want to give y'all. Remember All Access? This DVD was all about the behind the scenes for the 2004 Monster Jam World Finals in Las Vegas. That showcased everything that happens during and after the show, and even beforehand with all the prep. It also had some very funny moments that just happened while they were recording. Had moments with the crew and the drivers, not scripted, but just recorded. It was a fun watch. But Monster Jam now has something called Crash Course, and it's technically the same thing. They're going behind the scenes to an event, which was the Superstar Challenge for that year. But here's the difference. It's heavily kid-focused. From cheap kid sound effects to script sketches, and yeah, it's clearly aimed for kids 3 to 6. It's frustrating because Monster Jam did the All Access thing 20 years to the day that they uploaded Crash Course. Yeah, tell me 20 years ago when I was 1 year old that Monster Jam would be this light. Yeah, even though my brain was still developing, I would not believe you. But also, Monster Jam never went this far with the kid stuff in the past, but now it's pretty much almost everything they have, with just a few exceptions like the podcast and I guess the JCB sponsorship, but that's really about it. And recently I'm starting to hear this new argument that Monster Jam has always just been for kids. Well, I don't know if they're thinking of just Hot Wheels. I mean, of course that's for kids, but also in terms of the show itself, well, what's this then? Who are these people? What about this? I'm just gonna keep showing this up here for now, but my point is, it was never just for kids, it was for everyone. Kids, teens, adults, old people, boys, girls, it didn't matter who you were. You went there, and some of them became hardcore fans and got invested. And that's what sucks. You're not gonna get those people anymore. What I'm showing you might be the last of its kind. And also another thing I want to add that really pisses me off is the topic that Feld Entertainment, who owns Monster Jam, also owns Supercross. And they do a better job at marketing with cool intros with David Lee, great coverage, combined with them advertising drivers heavily. And yeah, it's been working great. It's been making them look great. But also hell, Monster Jam did this recently about 6 years ago. Well, I'll be right back. I'm getting ready to punch a wall. If you elect Colt Stevens Pillow for president, you will get, insane pillow action. Yeah, insane pillow action, and Colt Stevens himself will be his bodyguard. Colt Stevens Pillow for president, year of, I forgot when the next election is. Pillow to the people.
Rock and roll McDonald's! Rock and roll McDonald's!
What does my life become? This is what I think is killing it for the hardcore fans, and that is the new World Finals format. In 2025, this format was revealed, and for the first time, everyone seemed to be united, all saying one little thing: this format sucks big fat donkey balls. Racing and freestyle are now done in both days, having the first half done on the first day and the second half on the other, with both racing and freestyle happening on Friday and Saturday, and that really seemed to have ruined it, because there were so many flaws. First off, if the weather happened one day with clear skies and the other one had rain the next, well then that's unfair. Also, if a driver breaks in racing because they did a freestyle that was insane the previous day, Zach Garner, then that's unfair, and yeah, he was robbed from racing, that is for sure. And yeah, different days, different fans, different judging. There is plenty of problems with this, and to top it all off, it's a change for the families with the kids again, which is pathetic because at least for the normal events, yeah, I can kind of understand that, but this is the World Finals we're talking about. It's supposed to be for the hardcore fans who kept up all season long, watching and going there to see the end of the season. They want to see champions crowned, but hell, Monster Jam's new advertisements are pretty much just about the pit party and just tricks and skills. They don't even advertise the championships. That's like saying the Super Bowl is going to be 2 days with half the game playing on the next, and there might be a champion that's going to be crowned. Or WrestleMania with one match taking place 2 days to complete, and you might see a 3 count. Like, what the fuck? And you think they would listen to all of that backlash through months, and I mean months of backlash, for the 2026 World Finals, and they would probably listen, right? Right? No, they didn't. Although we have encores back, which is great because we don't want to see, well, that at the end of the show before you leave. And while they move skills and high jumps away, well, yeah, the 2 championships. The championships that are the most important thing to not screw up and the most important thing to the fucking industry has that same broken format for 2026. Like, I can't with this. This is just now pretty much confirming what everyone is thinking. They just don't care anymore. They're just done. The big fans come last, and the people who will go to the show once and never again are priority. Like, this is why I feel big fans are losing interest. There's a reason why I stopped making Monster Jam videos for the time being. It just pisses me off because I keep thinking of when Monster Jam at least treated itself a little bit more seriously than this. Now, I'm not going to bash anyone for still enjoying modern Monster Jam, like watching it week to week. You know, that would be very unfair of me, but the reason why I had to make this video, it's because it's just coming from passion, and it's coming from the heart. And it's coming from somebody that's watched Monster Jam all these years, almost 20 years, believe it or not. But seeing where it's gone, and seeing what they could have done, it just frustrates me, and that's why I had to put this out there. And it's just, it's something that's been on my mind for the last few weeks or so. And also, I just wanted to make sure that we just stop bringing up like the parts that have been done to death, because obviously those aren't going to change, and it's actually starting to get spread to the rest of the parts of the industry. So these 3 things that I had to bring up, I felt were more important and what could be harming the fan base and practically even killing the fan base in a way. What I would do is make the appeal for everyone. That is like all I would do to start. The path that Monster Jam is going on is very, very bad, and it can only get them so far. That's also why I've been saying that we are not in modern Monster Jam anymore. From tracks being noticeably flatter than the last time I saw, to more strict rules and the kid content being just at an all-time high, Monster Jam now is just in a worrying state. I'm still coming up with the name of this era for Monster Jam, but eventually I'll find something. And we can only hope in some way that things will get better in the future, which, I don't know at this point. I tried, but I don't know. And for the people who said that from like at least 2016 to about 2021 was the worst, you don't know how good you had it. It was a lot better than what we had now. But that's why, for the time being, I just want to say, just try other tours. Try KSR, try Throwdown, try Toughest, try Renegade, try 2 Extreme, try All-Star. There's so many tours out there that you can check out in the independent scene. Give them a chance. And then for Monster Jam, if you still like it, okay. But don't be afraid to say criticism. If you have anything to criticize, don't shield. That's the worst thing you can do, and they will just take you for granted. Speak out and just let them know what the problem is. If you don't, well then they're just not going to change, and it's just going to sink further and further. Now, I don't try to look only for the negatives. I also call out when things are good, like the live streams are positive, so fans can watch the sport each and every week. The drivers' personalities, which, of course, you got drivers like Ryan Anderson, Tristan England. Then you also have the skill of the drivers. That, of course, being a major plus with the drivers being trained at Monster Jam University, so they're able to put on really incredible performances, and the competition is at an all-time high. That's my thoughts on this whole situation, but now I want to hear from you guys. Do you think Monster Jam is in a good state, a bad state, what could be better, or do you think there's just no saving it? Let me know down in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time.
So, I know I've spoken about this before, but the one thing with Monster Jam that I have had probably a bone to pick with for the last 10 plus years is the lack of variety between paint schemes of different trucks. And what I mean by that is for trucks like El Toro Loco, Megalodon, Sparkle Smash, Gravedigger, and so on and so forth, it's the same just from tour to tour. I've heard people make the argument of they want that homogeny so it feels like they're getting the same experience, but I honestly feel like it just takes away for the ability for drivers to really get to shine on their own, even if it's within the same truck. Like, the example I always go back to is in the mid-2010s, Mark McDonald was associated with the black El Toro Loco, Becky McDonough was associated with the yellow, or with the Max D's. You knew the red was Neil's, the golden one was Colton's, and the yellow one was Jared's. And the thing, too, that also really gets me is they clearly have the ability to do this. It's not really a budget thing. They clearly have the ability to just change the colors up a bit. You see it at the World Finals every year, and I know it makes it quote-unquote special, but I really think it would give each driver their own distinct identity if they just took the trucks and gave it a different color. And, like, let's be real, maybe I'm just so much in the fandom that I'm blind to this, but would that many people, like, legitimately complain if El Toro Loco was not red for the event they went to? I mean, I was there in the 2010s when they had all the different paint schemes, and I never saw anybody complain about it, so it's just such a simple thing. It's something that legitimately, out of everything else, out of fan judging, out of bringing back crush cars, out of anything, that I feel like would be the simplest thing to bring back, but they don't for whatever reason, and I will always have beef with that.
Aloha everyone, I'm Douglas, but many of you may know me as ArenaPod, and if I had the power to make these changes, I would make two. The first is get rid of the shoebox headers. If you don't know, during certain arena events, Monster Jam would put mufflers on their trucks to make the trucks quieter, and that kinda contradicts what a monster truck is supposed to be, loud, and that's the exact same reason they got rid of the zoomies. And yeah, I would 100% bring zoomies back and make them legal in Monster Jam. Second thing that I would do is change the point system and how you get to the World Finals. I'll keep this short as it's kind of complicated, but I would make every single stadium tour and every single arena tour separate, and the highest 12 trucks in those specific point series will make it into the World Finals. Except for stadiums, it'll be 11, and then the top 4 trucks in each of them will go to the LCQ. Then we will 100% know who the best drivers are, so nobody Mickeys their way into the World Finals. And yeah, those are the two things that I would change about Monster Jam. I'm ArenaPod, and mahalo everyone.
I believe the sport is as great as it can be with the standards of today. You will still get great moments from the talent, and that's undeniable. However, part of me misses the old days at times. After all, I am an old school fan and always will be. Old school Monster Jam had massive tracks, how colorful they were, and the untamed destruction you get from the talent of yesteryear. It seemed like there was passion, creativity, and uniqueness, which is why old school Monster Jam will always have charm to me. Now it's just repetitive, two-colored tracks, and it's always the same tracks over and over. Fans of today will hear that and say we are blinded by nostalgia, when I don't think it's the case. That conversation will always have merit. As time goes on, I feel like the elephant in the room gets bigger, especially with the World Finals format not changing even after its backlash of this previous season. Now, the season tours don't really change much from the driver lineups, and the failed owned properties running in almost every tour is getting repetitive. Monster Jam today feels like the soul of what made this sport great to begin with has faded and faded away. I feel like something needs to change, and change fast.
Mike Trapper put, what concerns me is the demographic being solely focused on one, which is kids, and not allowing to reach out to other demographics. And the biggest one is not listening to their fan base. One thing I would change is if they want to make a point series and have the points determine who goes into the World Finals, make it legitimate, and pick the ones who did well. Don't pick favorites, then it feels less legitimate, even if, say, it is. Moose17 put, some issues I feel like that are hurting the sport are, 1, the tracks. The tracks nowadays just are basic and most of the time copy and paste, which is common in the industry nowadays. If there was just 2 to 3 different tracks ran on each tour, it would make more people would want to watch since it's a different track. 2, the tire sponsorship. Now, I don't mind BKT, but because of the requirements, there's a lot of independents that are capable of competing in Monster Jam, but can't because they can't afford or don't want BKTs. And overall, there are things that are hurting the sport, but there's many things that Monster Jam has come up with that makes it more fun and interesting, and that's why it stays so popular. It's because they keep evolving new things that can push the sport forward. P.S. Hope that it's not too much to read, Thomas. Well, you did okay. I just want to say thank you guys very much for watching this video. I really wanted to put a lot of time and effort into it because it's just something that I really cared about. Because I've watched Monster Jam for so long and just seeing it where it's gotten, although there's positives, the negatives I feel are a little bit too serious. So that's why I wanted to bring this up in a new video and just have it out there. Also, if you're wondering why I haven't been really uploading that much Monster Jam content, well, I've just haven't been really enjoying it recently, especially with some more changes that they started doing. And even when I stopped watching, they added another change, which was that skills rule. Yeah, because of that, there's not really going to be a lot of Monster Jam content moving forward. If you guys want me to do the World Finals, or if you guys want me to do like a certain topic, then just let me know. But in terms of me openly doing Monster Jam content, I guess like stadium retrospects might be one of those topics I'll do. Like, obviously the MetLife video I still have in the works for the Meadowlands project. And I will be doing Gravedigger related videos because I'm always going to be a lifelong fan of Gravedigger and Dennis Anderson and the whole Anderson compound, you know? That's what I'm still a fan of no matter what. But yeah, as of now, I'm mostly going to be doing a lot of independent related videos, whether that be Motorsports Hour, as I've been doing, or I could also do maybe some like tour videos or whatnot. I'm still getting ideas for it, but that's just currently what's going on right now. I also want to go ahead and thank everyone involved in the ending of this video. We got Arena Pod Productions, Off Track Productions, Critical Creeper, Moose, and Mike Trapper, who put in those comments, whether that being text or audio, and heck, even Arena Pod and Creeper, they went out of their way and made mini videos. Like, you guys didn't have to go that crazy, but I really, really appreciate it, like, seriously, from the bottom of my heart. I just want to thank everyone for just all the support you guys have been giving me over the last 9 years. Next year, we're going with the 10th anniversary of TF Motorsports. I hope I could get some really good content out for you guys, and hopefully if we do talk about Monster Jam again at some point, hopefully it's for a more positive note. Thank you guys so much for all the support, and see you guys in the next video. Take care. You know what? Fuck it. It's dead. I'm sorry. It's dead.